Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Tam's story. And we're going to pick up basically where we let off. We are back in Cavy's Tavern. It's getting later in the day, and you have just survived. Well, not just. Earlier today, there was a dangerous attack involving lots of fire and violence on Cavy's bar. But you lived, and you defended the tavern remarkably well, and last session we basically handled the aftermath.
Yes.
And today, as we resume, Cavy's bar is a bit cleaned up, still in the process of it somewhat. But as time continues, well, Tam, is there anything you wish to do right now?
Good question. I've been thinking about this. Um, I I think primarily Tam kind of needs a little bit of a breather.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't think it's one of these things where he's also still kind of not quite out of hypervigilance mode, so like I don't think it will be the kind of breather that involves sitting and taking a drink. Especially because I'm sure that Cavi in particular is like really freaked out by how damaged the bar is. So I think that every time he kind of like tries to sit down and like talk or like do something else, he kind of like finds another thing to fix and then gets up and tries to help. And so I think that he primarily would spend a lot of his time trying to like anxiously tidying, basically.
Sure. Okay.
But probably like telling stories and like trying to lift spirits in like as he does that.
Okay. That's totally fine. You can totally do that. Um, what does it look like? So we, Tam anxiously cleaning, um, just to try and, you know, almost alleviate some of the worry
Yeah.
after this crazy encounter. Uh, a lot of the mess, like the debris, the bodies, all that has basically been cleaned up. And at this point, it's basically just repairing the walls and the fire damage that is still like parts of the walls are sooty and charcoaled. And what does it look like for Tam? Has Tam ever uh do you think Tam has ever like repaired anything, done like handiwork, like maybe done some repairs around the temple? Has he ever done
Yeah.
anything like that?
I have this. He knows the mending cantrip, which I'm sure will help in small magical ways. Um, he likes to work with his hands, and so I feel like I don't. It's not like he's like a tinkerer or anything, but I think that like he's a hands-on learner, and anything that he can, I think he probably did like I don't know how much there really would be to repair at the temple, but like if there were like little things that needed patched up, yeah, I think that would be something that he would be volunteering for.
Okay. Do me a favor and roll me a history check.
Sure.
Let's just see uh how much that I might have.
11.
11. Uh Fairly well. So you remember the temple likely would as a temple of Magos. Um One of the most common disciplines and acolytes that would come through a temple of Magos would be arcane clerics. Those
Sure.
that are very young in their training, they're brand new to it. And a side effect of being new to magic, especially of the arcane discipline, is it can be explosive. So,
I had a suspicion. That was actually what I was thinking about, like sooty things, probably.
yeah. So, fire damage is something that you would remember having to repair. There's definitely going to be instances in the past where, like, the entire first floor of the temple had to be basically remodeled to be brick and stone
Sure, sure.
because the building that it was before it was a temple was mostly wood. And with the sudden recent adjunct of the gods, a lot of buildings were repurposed into temples. And while this temple, the one that you grew up in may have been an ancestral temple to Magos, it never really saw that much practical hands-on accidents
Sure. Sure.
until recently. So I'm going to say that you are familiar with the means of repairing wooden and stone fire damage. These are things that you've done before. And generally, the practice is you 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 get rid of all the bits of the walls and windows and doors that are fire damaged. You get it so it's a nice, clean, like straight line that you can just replace what was destroyed. And then the idea of color matching comes up later,
Yeah,
which you
sure.
probably didn't have anything to do with that part, as that's the expensive part, really. But the part
Sure.
of just
That's
rebuilding the
cool.
wall, you
Yeah.
absolutely would have done. So in that case, with that 11 on the history is good enough. I'm going to ask you to roll me a dexterity check to assist in getting the wall ready to be rebuilt. So, I guess sleight of
Another
hand.
4. Another 4. Okay, I rolled straight dexterity. Sleight of hand only gives me +1 more, so that's
So it's a
9 or
9.
11. Can I guidance myself? I guess
Yeah,
not.
you can guidance
This
yourself.
is okay. All right, I will add a d4, and it won't be much, but maybe it'll at least give me a DC 10, which is not terrible. Okay, 11. Another 11.
11. Yeah, it's not. It's clear you haven't done it for a long time. It's clear you're rusty with the tools, but no one is complaining. Cavi is like doing basically like the the distributing of labor, and when it's clear that you are familiar with like a keyhole saw, he does
Yeah,
not
sure.
complain. He just is like, "Great, by all means, thank you," and just like moves on to someone else as it's clear you're doing something to benefit.
Excellent.
Yeah, the DC for this sort of thing is 10. So
Okay, great. We got there.
yeah, you're there. It's simple work. It's tedious, but it might actually be beneficial to you. In this moment after the hardship, just to have a simple like brainless task that is just you're cutting this wall and it's tedious and slow and you're cutting out straight lines.
Yeah.
And with an 11,
He's
occasionally you have a crooked ass line and it's not a big deal. You just
he's likely whistling, and his tail is kind of like flicking back and forth to a rhythm.
roll me a perception.
Okay. Oh, that's much better. 24.
With a 24, you hear something that in the previous session there was a lot going on. You were running around talking to people, you were sorting out the issues, and now that things are quieter, you realize that you can hear almost like a sorrowful humming.
Oh, interesting. Can I tell where it's coming from?
With a 24, yes, it feels like it's in your head, but it's not you.
Can I check in with Soul Singer?
When you do investigate Soul Singer, you find that the hilt is vibrating in rhythm with the hum.
Hey, hi. Are you okay?
Your query, I'm going to need you to roll a persuasion.
Yeah, sure. Natural 1. 12.
Well, with a 12, the humming stops. Then a moment passes. I'm fine. I don't like that I took a life.
I don't like it either. I'm sorry.
I understand it. I understand the need. It's not a thing that you do often.
I don't like it.
It's a thing that I appreciate about you.
Thanks. You were really good with a sword once, before you were one, right?
I got by.
You didn't like it then either, huh?
I got good with this. I got good with a blade, so that I'd never have to take a life. I could best someone into submission, or prove to them that it wasn't worth it when I had to. And I used magic to escape everything else. So
I think a lot of people take to swords out of necessity. Whether that's because they need to put food on the table, like these Gold's Watch people or the city guard, or because it's wartime, or because someone's attacking them. It's weird being a mercenary. But I agree with you. I mean, I love having you at my side. You make me feel protected, but I'd much rather have you at the bowstring than being woven around for violence's sake.
I know. It's part of why we get along.
Yeah. Will you teach me that song?
Which?
The one that you were humming.
You heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Alright. I suppose I could do that. It's an old one. I don't remember where I heard it. But I remember hearing it a lot.
It's a sad song. Is it like a song of mourning?
I think about
Sounds like
whenever I hear it in my own mind, I remember my mother.
You think she sang it to you?
No, never.
Would you have sung it to her?
I'm gonna roll a check for Soul Singer. I don't know. But whenever I hear it, she comes to mind. I worry that someone would sing it for her in mourning. I wish I could remember. Might have been me.
We'll remember. I mean, you will. I can't know a memory that I don't have. But
No, that's not how that works. I so wish you could. That would make...
it would make a lot of things easier. But maybe as we learn this story, you'll learn more of yours.
Maybe.
But if you teach me that, I can hum it, and then we can play it once we're done here. Maybe that'll help.
Maybe it will. What's the harm of trying?
Nothing at all. No harm, just harmony.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Your friend, Sagona,
Hmm.
she seems eager to spill blood.
Yeah, I think I think partially it's cultural. I think dwarves seem to
Oh,
me,
she's a
or at
dwarf.
least she's a dwarf.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what all dwarves are like, but Sagona seems to think that she does, and tends to speak as if she speaks for all dwarves. So I guess maybe that's maybe a flaw in my own logic, but she worships Nier, and it's very important to her to kind of be as big as she can in her personality. And I wonder sometimes if maybe it's not really bloodlust necessarily, but just she has something to prove.
When I was a lad, I remember stories and songs of dwarves raking through the underground, fighting wars against creatures the likes of which I'd never imagined. And while they'd sing their war stories, we'd all feel at ease
Hmm.
because we knew that they were keeping those terrible creatures at bay. So I learned a
Yeah.
few.
You learned some dwarven songs.
I learned songs from all over the world, Tam.
Of course you did.
I tried to
You
gobble up every song I could find. Most of them are
well,
lost, but
hey, well, I'm just sitting here patching up this wall, so I think we've got time to learn a whole bunch of songs.
that's fair. Did you know that dwarves favored the flute?
I didn't know that.
There was a technique that they would talk about where you could play the flute with one hand and wield a war axe in the other. So,
I gotta tell Sigona that. That's rad. She might want to learn the flute.
I don't know, but you can kind of tell when someone has the artistry about them, and no offense, but from what I hear, I don't think Sagona really has the knack.
Maybe not so much. Yeah, it's true. She doesn't really care. She likes, I
Maybe a
mean, she
drum.
likes maybe a drum. A drum would probably be better for that level of aggression. Yeah,
Also, it just feels good to play a drum
it
when you
really
need to hit
does.
something.
When it's not just I don't. It's like the hitting something is one thing, but there's also something about keeping a rhythm that's really relaxing.
Makes sense to me.
That's why I used to like to do this kind of work because it's kind of, it's like meditative, but also kind of rhythmic. You can kind of get into a groove with
Sounds like you know what you're doing.
it. I'm pretending anyway.
I mean, you pretend until you learn it, eh?
That's how it goes. That's how it was with the fiddle, too.
No, you have a knack for that. You're a natural
Yeah,
on that. No
yeah, but
arguments.
it takes 4 years to learn how to play the fiddle badly. That's what my first teacher said.
Well, how long has it been now then?
Uh, nine, 19.
You're 19, or it's been 19 years?
It's been 19 years.
I was going to say, I thought you're older than that.
Unfortunately, I did not have the finger dexterity to come out of the womb playing it.
I would say, I don't really know how relationships between tieflings and swords might go, but that's a little young for me.
Yeah, I needed some years to develop, working limbs
Aye.
first.
So do you like dwarves?
Do I like as a species?
Well, I mean, You seem to like Sagona well enough. I suppose just in general.
Yeah, I like Sagona. I mean, I think, I think really the only dwarves. I think the only dwarf I really, really know well is Sagona. But if all dwarves are like her, that's okay by me.
Hmm. Well,
She's really confident.
I think that comes with the territory
Of being a dwarf?
of being some prophesied Stormborn.
I mean, you would think, but getting her to admit that is impossible.
I've heard.
I don't know why.
Well,
You
think
would
about
think
it.
that.
The odds of someone being a prophesied person. What's the likelihood?
I mean, somebody's got to be prophesied.
Right. And if I told you that you were prophesied, what would you think?
I mean, I would doubt it. But I don't know. To me, it sounds like the odds of a god that loves her. Her, the like avatar. She embodies so well exactly what her god wants from her. And to me, it seems like the odds that a god like that wouldn't talk to somebody are much lower.
Well, I know who you could talk to find out.
Uh, what you mean? Ask Nier directly?
I don't know. You could try that. But I was thinking my father. If you could find him.
Really?
Maybe. I don't remember when it was, but I feel like a while ago. I heard he was still around.
Wow. Okay. Do you have any idea?
Well, last I knew, his tower was in Nurisdale of Galicia. Does that mean anything to you?
Does that mean anything to me?
Roll a history check.
He doesn't sound like the kind of person I could just kind of send a sending to, huh? 19.
You've heard of Galicia. You've
Okay.
never heard of Nurisdale. You know that Galicia is now Eastern Aurelia. The kingdom of Galicia existed a long time ago. You're not sure between 6,000 to 4,000 years ago.
Is Aurelius like an elf then? Does he just live really long? Or is it that he's a sorcerer? Like, do I have a sense that this guy is still alive?
From the legend lore, you're pretty
Yeah.
sure he was a human.
Oh shit. Um, Galicia doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
Galicia's a really old kingdom.
what happened to it?
Do I know?
You rolled really well in history. Yeah, the short story of it is, after the defeat of the Red Tyrant, the ancient Red Dragon that was basically tormenting the Five Kingdoms, in order to prevent that from anything like that from ever happening again, the Five Kingdoms united into Aurelia.
Into Aurelia. Oh, Aurelius. Okay, got it. I'm caught up. I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
Um, okay, great, great, great. Yeah, I mean, this whole land is kind of named for your father, I think. But he was a human, right? I don't know. I'm
Of
sure
course.
there are ways that a powerful sorcerer can live that long, but I bet it's been a really long time.
How long?
Do I have a sense? Like hundreds of years, right?
Well, you know that the Kingdom of Galicia ended like 4,200 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I will give her that rough estimate.
4,000 years.
Yeah, you've been a sword a long time.
Soulsinger gets very quiet.
I know that's a lot to think about. But if it would help, I bet we could find out what happened to him.
I can't read. I can't see.
But I can.
I'd like that.
Yeah. Well, let's resolve this war situation first. Uh, and then after that, I would love to go on a quest for my ancient and powerful uh, literal legend of a sword.
Wish I knew. Why? Or how?
How?
Why I'm here? Why? How this happened? Why it's been so long? Why he never looked for me?
I have to imagine he looked for you. From what I can recall from that legend lore, you you weren't in this. You like kind of changed planes for a while. And I bet a lot of time passed there.
My father was very powerful. People used to come and ask him for advice and help. People used to to query all sorts of favors, asking him to change their home, the terrain, the lands around them,
Wow.
and he would do it.
Well, there's got to be a reason. We'll figure out what it is.
I hope so.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm sure it's not because he didn't want to find you.
Okay.
I remember from that legend lore, he was stricken when it looked like he might have lost you. And it had to have been because there was no other way.
He always. Well, he's the one who convinced me to learn to blade. He always told me that every person in this world has worth and value, and that I should try to find it. But I shouldn't trust them.
Interesting.
Because every person in this world, that worth and value they have is more important to themselves than anybody else's. And if they need what you have, and they're the wrong kind of person, they'll take it.
I can see how a powerful sorcerer might think that. I don't think. I don't agree, though. I agree about the part that everyone has worth and value, but I don't necessarily agree that anyone necessarily wants to take it by default.
My mother used to call him a worrywart.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's maybe a side effect of having innate magic. If you know that your value is so intrinsically determined and you are born special, I don't know, I think that would make me worry too about losing the thing that makes me special.
Well, if you ever find anything or you learn what happened.
Yeah, I mean, remember we went to that library not too long ago where I was looking up that stuff for Sagona?
I mean, I remember hearing you talk about it.
There's gotta be books on your father. A country's named after him. There's gotta be books.
Yeah, but how much of them are actual histories and how much are just bardic stories of stretching the truth?
I mean, you can learn some stuff from bardic stories.
It depends on how creative they were feeling.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, I bet...
You and I both know that some flavorful stretching of the truth.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Do you know any of his friends? Can you maybe think about any of his friends' names? Anyone, maybe like a longer lived sort of person, or a person that might have survived a really long time whose histories you might trust? If there are any names that you can
I
think
can
of,
try.
just if there are any names that you might be able to think of, maybe we can start there.
You got to understand, Tim, I haven't spoken with
Yeah, you haven't
anyone
been awake for a long time. I understand.
almost, no, more than 4,000 years, it seems.
Well, I've got a wizard, and
Who?
oh, we have a new wizard in the party. Her name is Witsika.
Oh, she's a wizard?
Yeah, she's, I know, right?
She doesn't sound like a wizard.
Battle magic.
Okay, useful.
Yeah, right? That's what I thought.
Well, you know
Which
how I feel.
probably, she might not be the most bookish of wizards, but she knows other wizards, and I bet you she knows, she has an instinct for these things. And also, back at the academy, we have a sorcerer instructor that I don't know very well that probably knows some stuff, maybe, about at least the basics of what happened to your sorcerer father. So we'll look. There's avenues. And I don't usually I'm not really the kind of person often that knows where to look at first, but I know people, and I probably know the person that might know where to look.
Then I'll be here. Just listening.
Yeah. You keep listening and you think if you know anybody, and we'll get there. Okay?
I'll do that.
In the meantime, you teach me those songs. And we'll play those. And then we'll both feel better.
Okay. Well, now might not be the time. Unless you're intending to play it on a... What is that? Sounds like a... strange exotic... device.
Oh, what strange oh.
The only thing making noise is the saw that's currently
the
rasping
saw.
away at brick.
Oh, the saw? No, that's good for rhythm. But, I mean, you could hum it, but if you don't want to hum it, you can just teach me later. And I'll play it on the flute.
We'll do that later then.
Okay.
After you kind of come to an end of the conversation, Soul Singer is quiet, but you feel as though you've addressed the mournful sound that
Sure.
Soul Singer clearly doesn't like taking lives.
Yeah. She and Tam are aligned on that.
Mm-hmm. Uh, as you get this wall basically ready to be repaired,
Hmm.
uh, we're going to, unless you have something you wish to accomplish specifically this night, we're going to go ahead and push along through a long rest.
Sure. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't think there's anything like short of working on a feat or something. I don't think there's really anything that he could really do for the next couple of hours. He's mostly just gonna be working on the. He wants to be useful. He's just gonna try to be useful.
Do you have any idea what? I think you're working on. What feat are you working on right now? I don't remember.
Um, I don't have. I think I finished. I think I finished everything that I was. Oh, I guess. Um, I don't know if I finished my armor, my medium armor proficiency. No, wait, I did.
You did.
I did. Shields. I think it was probably shields, if nothing else. I think I was thinking about maybe shields. Uh, but I think the next thing that he was thinking about was resilient for Constitution. He made a joke to Sagona about like, hey, maybe you can teach me your Dwarven Constitution. Um, so
Uh,
either that or Warcaster would be the next two that I kind of have on my like block here.
well, you'd have to pick which one.
Yeah, I would have to pick which one. I think probably resilient.
Okay. Working on resilience of any attribute is mostly meditative, uh,
Interesting.
which Tam and he's apparently a little ADHD,
A little bit, yeah, yeah.
but his that like the choices we make for roleplay will not affect our skill checks and the attempts to make a feat. So you can probably put in like an hour to 2 hours in working towards
Sure,
this.
sure.
So roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, his ADHD is reflected in the fact that his wisdom score is very low. But that is a nat 20 though.
A 14 is not a low wisdom score.
That's fair.
With a 22, okay, roll me a constitution check. Just a straight con check.
Not bad. 19.
So, for 2 hours, Tam, and you can mark down 2 hours of progress toward resilience constitution. For 2 hours, you basically find a quiet corner, and you don't necessarily like cross your legs and do an ohm sound or anything like that. But you do, and I'm going to let you decide the flavor for this, but Tam basically considers everything that is currently physically wrong with Tam. The little
Okay.
aches and scrapes, the little scratches, the soreness from the fight, places where like an arrow grazed him and that slash, even though you're healed all the way, there's still that little bit of pain, and you focus on that pain until you can compartmentalize it and set it aside. And you do that one by one, cataloging every little thing that you normally would just ignore as best you can. And instead of that, you isolate it and lock it
Interesting.
away.
Yeah, I think he got real beat up in that fight.
Yeah, there's
So
lots of
I
little things.
yeah, he's just covered in bruises and stuff. So I think there's a lot. He's just sort of like breathing and being in tune with his body, which is rare for him.
But by the end of it, you feel weary, you feel tired after such a long day. And this compartmentalizing, while it has kind of like set those dull aches and pains away into the side where you're aware of them, but they're no longer just like disrupting your thoughts, you realize just how tired you are.
Mm.
Not exhaustion levels of tired, but tired.
Bedtime. Bedtime. Time to sleep.
It is about 9 o'clock at night. Do you do anything before you go up for a long rest, or do you?
I think he is going to spend maybe an hour or so trying to learn some songs from Soul Singer as promised.
Okay. Let's see.
And he will also tell Sagona about that thing about flute axe dwarves.
When you do tell Sagona that, she like quirks an eyebrow at you. Well, you not heard of a bagpipe?
Oh, I thought you needed two hands to play a bagpipe.
No, you
Is,
tuck it under your shoulder.
but so you have an axe. You have an axe in one hand.
Aye, axe or hammer, one hand. The actual pipes of the bagpipe in your other hand, you squish it underneath your elbow, and you breathe into it the whole time.
Oh, so you're not like piping on the bagpipe. You're
No,
just breathing it.
correct.
I see.
Imagine 50 dwarven warriors lined up, all tuning the bagpipes while they're charging someone. Heroin.
That's terrifying. The clamor of noise. Terrifying.
Exactly. The old flutes, that's old history, though. That's a long time ago.
Incredible.
And they'd be made of bone, so they'd always have, like, this horrible, ghastly sound about them.
That is. I can't decide whether that's more cool or more creepy. I think it's kind of both at once.
I mean, there's only so many ways to instill fear, and,
Yeah,
I have to be good at it.
sound is certainly one of them.
Well, when you have ancestors as proud as mine, responsible for driving back waves of hook horrors and illithid, you get good at it. And you learn
Bet.
lots of ways to make them afraid of you.
Do you have a lot of ancestors? Do you have like a big family, Sagona?
Me? No. Not particularly. I mean, it's like clans separate, and whenever you, like, I don't really know how it works, but, like, if a dwarf and a human were to have a child, it's likely gonna be a dwarf.
Oh, okay.
So it just kind of, the bloodlines kind of spread and such. And I mean, I don't know if the royal family goes back quite that far. My great great grandpa was, he talked about sailing the undercurrents beneath Ceres when I was a wee lass.
Wow.
He cooked the bucket at 402.
That's a long time to be alive.
Oh, aye. And he wouldn't let anybody forget it.
Was he still fighting and stuff at 400?
I mean, whatever he could find.
That's
And
amazing.
he smoked more than more than that fireplace. And always was very boisterous about it. Said that if he could, there'd not be any air in his lungs, only chimney smoke.
I bet he had great stories.
I grew up listening to him. He's the one who told me about flutes, actually.
That doesn't surprise me. Does your family worship near?
Oh,
Or
no.
just you?
Just me.
Huh.
Why do you ask?
It just occurred to me because, I come from a line of devout people.
Oh,
So
sure.
and also, it just, I don't know. it seems like near seems like a good choice for dwarves for some reason.
I mean, my family was not. I mean, she like lets out a short sigh and she says, I grew up in Tunox, you know, in the Golden Cascades. It's pretty comfortable, cozy. My my dad was not a warrior. No, it was my mother. We were very relaxed, cozy, and safe. If that makes sense. They weren't really the sort to be sending prayers to near. More like, Drunmere.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
They weren't particularly godly either. Um, my dad would, was actually, you get, with your high passive insight, you get the impression that Sagona is uncomfortable talking
Hmm.
about this. Um, they're not, I mean, they used to always, whenever there were missionaries or clerics in town, they would always steer me and yearn away and
Really?
oh sure. I mean, it was not. I mean, you gotta understand. My dad, most of his life, the gods were gone, right? Like,
Oh, yeah, sure.
and suddenly
They
they're
didn't.
back, and everything is supposed to be a okay, and as if that didn't
They
happen.
didn't. They didn't trust it.
I mean, I can't really blame them, but my mom and dad, they were. I mean, I don't want to say stubborn.
Oh, wow. Really? Your parents weren't stubborn?
All right, you're asking for a fresh one.
I mean, I'm just saying you had to have gotten it from somewhere.
Right? Sure. Anyway, they don't know that I'm alive or a cleric.
What?
They
I
don't.
was prepared. I was prepared for you to say they don't know that you're a cleric, but they don't know that you're alive?
No,
They think you were lost at sea?
I don't know what they think. I mean, the last they heard, I should say, I took port back in Cornerstone, and that was the last they heard of me.
Sagona, why did you leave?
Because I didn't want that cozy, comfortable life. Just hammer and iron every day. It's not for me. And if I had stayed, that's surely what they would have had, is made me a forge maiden, taken on my dad's business, and there's Urine actually working the forge with all the glory, and there's, his good little sister always just handling the the ingots and the coke. It's not for me.
I believe me. I get it.
I know you do, we've talked about it. Well, you've talked about it. I'm sorry I didn't talk about it.
If you weren't ready, it's okay. Are you afraid to tell them that you're alive?
No.
Okay, well, I have a sending.
If you cast sending right now, Tam, I will kill you.
You're definitely not afraid.
Not afraid, no.
Okay, then. Just uncomfortable?
I don't want them to start sending me, hawks begging me to come home and take up the forge. I never cared to be a smith. I don't even... Do you know what I did when I was at sea? I learned carpentry. I learned to actually fix the ships. And... I imagine Dad would be just red-faced if he learned that. I learned woodwork before iron.
Do you think my parents would worry about me if they didn't know that I was alive? Here in Aurelia, where there's war and they can't get to me and there's an embargo.
If they didn't know you were alive, and I'll tell you what I just told myself. They either think you're dead, and they've grieved you and moved on, or they think you're alive, and they hope that you're doing the best that you can for yourself.
You really think your parents think that little of you?
I thought that was optimistic.
I think that one of the most you and most near things that you could do would be to tell them that you're alive and that you're safe, and to turn down every hawk that they send. You've already chosen your path. But it's easy to choose your path when no one is telling you to pick something else. You have more faith than that. If in Nier, if not in them.
I disagree. I
What do you
don't
mean?
think reaching out to them, bringing up old bonds, I don't think that will be aligned. I don't think that will be aligned with Nier in the slightest. I think that bringing up those old bonds would be just bringing up a tether that once hooked me to that town. I don't want freedom just for the sake of denying the people that might take it from me. You know? It's
I'm
not
not
about
saying
spite.
I'm not saying it would be spiteful. I'm saying it would be good for them to know what you want. Because it seems like you don't think. It seems like you're assuming a lot about what they would say.
You don't know my family.
Yeah, well, I know mine. And I sure do assume a lot about what they're gonna say. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're right. I'm not gonna argue with you on matters of faith. You are the expert on Nier here. You get to make your choices, always. I'm just saying that as a person in a not dissimilar situation, I think that they love you and they would want to know that you're alive.
Ugh. All right. I'll send a letter.
It's something to think about, that's all.
Was that... Aye, I'll send a letter.
Was that what?
Nothing. It's not important.
Sedona. It is. Please?
Are you worried we're going to get in over our heads and that my family won't have heard from me and I'll just be dead and the first thing they'll hear is that I've passed away?
I mean, no, because I think that if anyone is going to make it out of this alive, I'm pretty sure it's going to be you. But I
I don't know
think
about
that
that. Have you seen Wash move?
I think that considering the situation we're about to get ourselves into, it doesn't strike me as a bad idea.
I already said I'd send a letter.
Hmm.
What do you want?
Nothing. Actually, there is one thing.
Oh.
He gives her a hug.
Ah. She's surprised at first, but she returns the hug. And while she's hugging you, and it is a warm hug, and it's clear that she means it, but you hear, "You're a pesky little shit, aren't you?"
I am. Yes, I am.
Were you already... You're covered in bruises.
Yeah.
Do you need healing?
No, I think I'll keep them.
Okay. I didn't see them at first. They kind of blend in with the gray skin, but...
Yeah, I was kind of, I just sort of sat there and thought about them for a little bit. I'm trying to like work through little aches and pains like that.
Ah. An old dwarven adage. You're dealing with it.
Oh, yeah, I am. I'm dealing with it.
Good for you. You do know, if you had them in the right place, with the way it darkens your skin, you almost like you could use it as contouring.
Okay, well, I'll try to get hit on the right flank
That's perfect.
then.
Just you ever want, a fresh knuckle right to the jawbone, right here, or the cheekbone,
Uh-huh.
give you
Uh-huh.
some nice shading.
Are you're trying to come up with reasons to punch me?
I don't need a reason to punch you, Tam.
That's fair. I am a pesky little shit.
Out your own mouth. All right. Well, why don't you go to bed?
Yeah,
I'm off to
I'm
do the
sleepy.
same.
I'll see you tomorrow.
She gives you a hard swat on the ass and then goes
Ow!
to her room.
What kind of contouring do I need there?
I don't know. I haven't seen it good yet.
He
She,
flicks her tail at her. He flicks his tail at her. Runs up the
uh,
stairs.
all right. You have that conversation with Sagona where you convince her to send a letter to her family in Two
Yay!
Knocks. Well, we'll see when it comes to
Listen,
that.
I would say it's the pot calling the kettle black, but he did already send a sending to his dad for Sagona's sake. I don't remember if he told her that.
I don't think he did. He might have, but that's okay. Uh, you're gonna go ahead and you go up to your room to take a long rest. Roll me
Sure.
a D100.
Ooh. Random encounter.
One.
Wild. Divine intervention.
Yeah, that would happen. Uh, with a one, absolutely nothing happens. You have a very quiet, silent night. The
Love that for
tavern,
me.
it's a little louder with the noise from the outside coming through the open holes in the walls downstairs. But the tavern rests, and you can go ahead and take a long rest.
Do I learn some songs from Soul Singer?
Yes.
Hooray! Long rest complete. New spells, yay! Or
Everyone
refreshed
completes a long rest. Let me go ahead and do that. You will notice that Wix and Hiram have updated art.
Ooh.
It is unfortunately AI art, but it is updated. So we do what we can with what we have.
He is going to feed some berries to Fable also.
Okay. When you do, Fable says in your mind, "These are good, but I don't need to eat.
I know, but you like them.
I do like them. I'm not going to argue. Do you
I
have any
want you to
more?
have the things. Yeah, we got a whole crate of them. I want you to have the things you like.
Where?
Uh, well, will you make yourself sick on them if you eat all of them tonight?
Yes.
Oh no. Okay. Uh,
Some pain is worth it."
okay. Well, they're over here in this corner.
The ink drake kind of swirls over in like a streak of black and begins to eat way too many berries.
Honestly, uh, Tam gets it. Tam understands.
Yeah, I think that's the last thing that'll happen this night before you
Yeah.
finally do get to sleep. Um, because you did the meditation, you do not need to make a wisdom saving throw to stave off the anxieties from the combat. At least I'm not going to make you do one. You can if you would like to.
I think he chilled out enough, having talking. He had enough conversations that went well enough that I'm not going to make a wisdom saving throw for him.
Okay. Then you click the long rest and we move on to the next morning.
Hooray!
As we move on to the next morning, you are awoken by the sounds of music being played downstairs.
Love that.
It is not incredibly fast paced or anything like that, but it is pretty. And as you hear music playing from downstairs, you kind of hear the tavern is stirring. And when you do wow, that's much louder than I meant it to be. When you do eventually go down the stairs, Cavy's Tavern it's hopping. There's lots of people in here. You do immediately clock that the holes in the walls, the ones that you've repaired, or at least you prepared to repair, they look complete. But it does not take a master wizard to recognize illusion magic when you see them.
Got it. Okay.
You can kind of oddly hear the sounds of the streets outside, a little too loud. So even though it looks like the walls are rebuilt, they're not at all. But there is a stage in the corner. It's like narrow, but there's like a group of 3 musicians. I wouldn't say that they're bards. They look like travelers. But they are new to the tavern, as are a lot of people that you see milling about in Cavy's. Cavy is manning the bar, and when you step down the stairs, he says, "Tam, how's this for a
Good
taste
morning,
of
Cavy.
normalcy?"
I love it. Let's do more of it.
I agree wholeheartedly. As you have gone down the stairs, you do see Hiram, and you see Wash at a table. You don't see Wix or Sagona yet. Actually, let me get them out of here.
Can do the musicians look amenable to having company and like another person jamming with them? Do they look like they're performing or do they look like they're jamming?
It's too early in the day for a performance. They're not. It doesn't look like they're busking.
Great.
You can act like you can do the basically the universal hold up your instrument and like the
Yeah.
querying look.
Yeah.
The one who's playing like a dulcimer just like waves the little mallet at you, like, yeah, come on over, basically.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, Tam will happily join in that
Okay.
nonsense.
All right. So I should have known.
What did you expect?
I don't know.
I don't know what I expected.
Yeah, this is exactly what would happen if you showed Tim music happening. Of course. Anyway, over the next like 30 minutes, you're playing music with these strangers, these people that are here. They each have like these. They look like French rolls covered in eggs and bacon. That each of them are eating one of them, and as you're playing, Cavi like places one next to you.
Aw, thanks, Cavi.
On the house. And by that I mean on the broken house, you know. Yeah. And he walks away.
Yeah.
So you have been given breakfast by Cavi. And you do eventually
breakfast.
see Wix join the table. And as she looks over at you, she sees you playing. And you hear in your head, am I supposed to give you gold? As she casts a message at you.
No, Wix. No, you're fine. This is just for fun. You never have to give me gold.
Okay. I mean, I could.
We're a party. We're gonna buy enough stuff together. It's all good.
Oh, good. And you see Wix just like pick up a sandwich that she was provided, and begins to eat it. Eventually, your whole party has assembled at the table, and you see Alacaster and Annabelle enter the common room proper from their room on the first floor. And as they take a table, Tam, you see the door opens, despite how busy it is. And you see a woman with long black hair, ornately braided with all sorts of like fine, what looks like bronze jewelry, and piercing red eyes.
Is this that person that showed up before, the Nadajdi person?
It is not an Ndajdi, but you have seen her before. Her name is, if you recall, Meridna Adelon.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And she walks over to the table that Alacaster and Annabelle have sat down at. And she doesn't take a seat. Everything about this woman strikes you as like courtly graces and noble presence. And it's such an aura about her that like everyone in the tavern that she walks by like stops and looks at her. Like they're expected to get out of the way. Just the air this woman carries about her is a little intimidating. Then, while you're still, I assume you're still playing music at this moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's playing music, but he is paying attention too.
You watch as she's having like a conversation with Alacaster and Annabelle, and then she turns and she looks at you. Then back at your team at the table, and you hear in your head, not the message spell, just a voice appear. Do you mind if we have a conversation?
Sure. He will finish the kind of like lick that he's doing on the fiddle, and like exit from the song like super gracefully.
Garrett, you learn their names over the period of time. Garrett was the dulcimer player who invited you over in the first place. He's kind of this short half-orc fellow. He kind of just tips his very worn traveler's cap to you, and he says, "Thanks for playing with us."
Yeah, he kind of gives him a little salute. Anytime, you're great.
Ugh! He just goes back to playing the dulcimer with a grin and a shake of the head.
I'll give him guidance.
Okay. Sure, you guidance him. Okay. You give him the little the tap, and he just the smile grows a little wider as he nods his head along with the rhythm.
Okay. Tam is gonna assume it's this Meridna person that summoned him over.
Oh, she's looking
Uh,
straight at you.
yeah, so she will does it look like she wants to go to a different room or that she wants to just like she
I
just
the
wants him to come over to
the
the table?
question the question answers itself as you're approaching her, she turns and like heads to the isolated table that usually Alacaster and Annabelle uses like their war room. It's
Sure.
just a VIP table basically with a door.
Sure. Yeah,
So she
absolutely.
pulls you that way. Um,
He will kind of subtly tap his cleansing stone on the way to just
mhm.
like make sure you gotta like, okay, this person's serious business. We're gonna clean ourselves up real quick and just be fine. And he's like unconsciously thinking about Bruce contouring as he walks over.
I mean, Sagona had a point. Um,
Yeah.
as you approach, like you begin to follow her, you hear in her mind, gather your team, if you don't mind. This
Sure.
should involve all of them.
He'll stop and kind of like gesture to come over.
Yeah, there's the sound of stools getting
Yeah.
pushed out as your team all get up and begin to head over towards you. As you enter the VIP room, uh, this Lady Meridna walks around to the far side of the table, and she sits down on a bar stool, somehow managing to make it look like it's the finest chair in a dining room. It's
Incredible.
This woman has a lot of aura about her. As your team all
Love it.
kind of piles in, she just tips her head up and says, "Close the door if you don't mind."
Yep. She sure does.
As you close the door,
He flips it closed with his tail.
oh, of course. I mean, why not? Uh,
Yeah.
as you close the door, Lady Marina looks to you all and she says, "You all did remarkably well in defending Cavi's bar last night from the Red Raiders and their lovely little friends.
Thank you. We did our best, ma'am.
I heard a lot about it. And while you did defend the tavern very well, it is still intact. There are unfortunate side effects. There are a lot of civilians that see the retrieval program as salvation. A lot of
Mm.
people that are relying on this operation to succeed, and a lot of people that in doing so are then put in danger by our efforts.
Sure.
You're all familiar with Captain, or sorry, Sergeant Edie and the safe
Yes.
house that the guards were allocated to after the event at the checkpoint.
Yes.
The good news is we have access to another safe house.
Good.
In the River Ward, an old warehouse has been designated for demolition. In reality, my own personal attendants have been tending to it, shoring up the insides and reinforcing it, applying illusion magic to the outside, and it will serve as a safe house well enough for those that are loyal to our cause and would be in danger should they be in the proximity of city guard if they are attacked.
Okay.
I have two tasks for you. The first, you're going to escort about 15 civilians from here. You must have noticed the tavern is much more full than normal.
I did. I imagine is that um padding on purpose?
Of course it is. Of the 40 or so people in here, 15 of them are civilians that I'm going to request you escort them to the River Ward safe house. I'll be coming with you.
Okay.
This way, with me accompanying. I trust in your discretion in making this look as though we are just a simple pack of travelers, so as to
Okay.
resist the interest of the Gold's Watch.
One difficulty with that is that the Gold's Watch kind of knows what we look like and doesn't love us.
You're not going to disguise you. That is why I'm coming along. Coming? That's not a word. That is why I'm coming along.
Oh, I see.
You
You're
are
gonna.
going to lead the way, distract the Gold's Watch,
Oh, I see.
whilst I lead our young little hopefuls and revolutionaries around any little instance of stickiness that you might find.
So you're anticipating that they will have a problem with us.
Oh, yes. You must realize the instant you step outside, people are going to talk.
Of course.
But I see this as an opportunity. We can use you as a distraction. You've proven yourselves martially capable.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, barring the actual intervention of the Red Raiders themselves, I have confidence that your little group here can handle any Gold's Watch that tend to get in your way, and likely do it without actually killing anyone.
That's the plan. He does make eye contact with Sigona.
What? What? I can follow orders.
I know you can.
I know you can. That is your job, after all, and the Merryguard do not come without their reputation. And so, no Gold's Watch are to be slain. They are to be incapacitated, subdued, or captured if you can. If you can get one that we might be able to apply some leverage to, that would be fantastic. Of course, they wouldn't be brought to the safe house, because that would be a terrible idea. If you do manage to capture one, you're to bring them immediately back here to Cavi's Bar, to be placed in the loving and tender hands of Turk.
Okay.
He has been regaled of my plans. Anyway, that's the first part. Get the civilians to the safe house. Once that has been done, once the civilians that we can harbor within the Riverward safe house is finished, your next task is there are connections that we need you to reach out and have parley with.
Okay.
Our good King Demeric is going to be hosting a ball in about a week's time. Invitations have been sent. I, for some reason, have not been on the invitation list. One wonders what I could have done to offend the man.
Can't imagine why.
However, our good friend, Pomona Nadajdi, she has been invited. And so you are going to be going as her attendants.
Okay.
There is going to be much education in your near future, and I doubt that all 5 of you will be able to attend. I suspect room for attendance is going to be 3. So, Lady Pomona Nadajdi is going to instruct you on the proper courtly graces and manners that one would attend going to a royal ball, and you are to select 3 of your team that are going to proceed with Lady Pomona. Do you understand?
Yep.
There's going to be a task for you at the ball. This is no easy feat. You're going to be under a watch. The Gold's Watch, the Red Raiders are all going to be there, as well as Demeric's own loyal guard. For all intents and purposes, you are just there to make Pomona Nadajdi look like she is a loyal and honorable subject to King Demeric's reign. Whereas in reality, there are a number of contacts we need you to reach out to. And
Okay.
Lady Pomona is going to have all the information as to that. You do your job, you get the information that we need, we might be able to securely eject good King Demeric, from his ill-gotten seat. If you get some information that is not quite so damning, we could at least delay any further decisions that he might make until my brother does arrive.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
My brother is the one that has the true claim to kingship, the one that Strongarm truly trusted, and a man that I really would like to keep alive. Dura Adelon is a war hero and also kin. So there are many reasons as to why I'm doing this. However, if we can find the damning evidence we need to get the Justicar to eject Lord Demeric before Dura even arrives, then it's an all-new Kingsmoot. A legal
Excellent.
one. Any questions?
Um, when you say we have a week to learn courtly graces,
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean exactly? I've never been to court before.
Oh, you're just going to have to learn how to walk the walk and talk the talk. Understand what mannerisms are proper, where to stand, the sort of things you say when spoken to, and the truth that you don't speak when you're not spoken to. As attendants, your goal is to allow Pomona Nadarsdi to glow in her radiance as the Lady of Gems and a noble in charge of, well, quite a bit of land. Did you know that her sister, Eudora, is responsible for the entire merchant fleet of Aurelia?
No.
Yes, we are playing with the big boys, as they say. So, yes, that is what I mean. Pomona Nadarsdi will be instructing you, as with the help of her staff, how to look like noble attendants. It is not just enough to have an illusion or a disguise or dress up as one. You must also act like them, speak like them, or see yourself excused before the task can be completed. If you are excused and Pomona Nadarsdi's reputation is tarnished by this endeavor, things will get a lot more difficult for us.
All right.
And Marinda is like
We
looking at Sagona as she's talking.
yeah. Tam is like very specifically not looking at Sagona. He's already sort of like going over in his head, like, okay, who are we taking? Who are we leaving behind?
Uh, I mean, you do always have the option of taking fewer and bringing a real attendant.
That is also, I have no idea if we're going to actually be in real trouble. It's like, it's interesting because it seems like Wix is kind of socially awkward. Sagona is Sagona. Wash, like, doesn't all the way speak common. And Hiram seems like he would be fine, but maybe just doesn't have an interest in this. Um, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. I mean, I will
They,
say stat-wise, Hiram and Wix probably have the best charisma to deal with this.
I was curious about that. Like, it's a charisma based thing, not a
I
it's a
mean,
charisma based thing, not
roles
necessarily
that
a
are going to be performed are like deception and maybe performance.
got it.
That's,
Okay.
but this is all in the future. Your
Yeah,
immediate
sure.
task is escorting.
First task is escort mission. Yeah. Okay.
As I said,
I
any further questions?
I do think I understand the assignment. Um,
Oh, important note. If there is anything sticky happening at the ball, weapons are not allowed to be carried within. So, if any of your group are capable of defending themselves without weapons, that might be good to note.
he looks at Wash.
You see Wash, like, has a small smirk on her face.
Yeah. Okay. So like she doesn't have the charisma, but she would have the like ability to defend herself without a weapon. And this
Probably
is gonna
better
be
than anybody else in your party.
definitely definitely better than anybody else.
Behind you, you hear Wix say, "Could I summon a weapon?" And Marina looks at Wix and says, "Probably, so long as you don't require any components to do it, or you can hide them on your person." Oh, I've been through worse than that. Sure. Curious. Have you infiltrated a royal event before? Aye.
Wix does a lot of solo work. We're her first team.
I see. What a unique person.
She
Are,
is.
are you willing to... I notice that you are a changeling and very open about it. Are you willing to change your form to blend in? You hear Wix.
I told her she wouldn't have to do that. I'd like to keep that promise.
Well, should an illusion be required, can you do that instead? Oh, sure. That's no problem. Miranda just kind of like nods as she's looking at Wix. You can just read on her face that Miranda's like, what a bizarre person this is. But she doesn't say anything else. And she says, then, in that case, we can likely respect your wishes. Anyway, I'm going to say, little Storm Cleric, that you are likely not cut out for the job. And Sagona just shrugs and she says, fine. I don't want to go to a ball anyway. Well, there wouldn't be much ballroom entertainment for whatever. Good enough. Temerity, I have been assured that your team can handle this task, particularly the escort mission, perfectly well. You are to leave in an hour. I am going to make my own arrangements and meet you outside. Be ready, and be wary that as soon as you are seen outside, especially by the fact that I'm certain the Gold Watch, or at least the Red Raiders, have scouts paying attention, they might try and make a move upon you soon.
Could you give us a sense on a map of where you're going to be going so we know to go in the other direction?
Oh, yes. And she points at the map, and we're going to pull up the Augur City map here. As you're aware, Cavies is here. Right at the edge of the plaza. A fantastic location when it comes to entertainment and drinks, and also being quite out in the open for both Gold's Watch and City Guard to pay attention to. It's one of the reasons why Cavies Bar has not been attacked more than just the once. The City Guard is always conveniently nearby for illegal raids to be impossible. Hence the distraction of the fire last night. In the meantime, as you will be heading down the main street into the eastern side of the chapels. So you're going to cross the main plaza, heading up the main street, being as visible as you can. I'm not saying to make a noise or be loud, but just be apparent. We don't want them to be suspicious as to your purposes. You are a distraction enough just by being out in the open. As you're heading down the main road of the chapels, you'll be making a left turn 3 buildings down from the gate. Once you are there, you're going to find yourself in an open plaza, which, if you have not been assailed, harassed, attacked, or followed by anyone of the Red Raiders or the Gold's Watch themselves, I will retrieve you into the safe house. Though I suspect that is not going to be how this plays out. As your group leads down the main streets, I will be leading them around the back alleys through the northern chapels. I know plenty little shortcuts that me and the group of revolutionaries will be able to, well, sneak our way through the town. Does this make sense to you?
It does. Do you want us to have a cover story of what we're doing that's not this?
I think what would be best is if you are affronted by the Goldswatch, tell them nothing. Reveal nothing of your purposes to them. They will either choose to allow you to pass, or they will attack you in an attempt to detain you.
Sure.
If they do attack you, that is when I think it would be fantastic if you could capture one. If they allow you to pass, you best be certain they are going to be following you. If that is the case, you are to leave the city gate and head out to camp out on the road. My request would be that you camp 1 mile along the road outside of August City. That will be close enough that I will be able to return to you in secret without it being a problem, and also far enough out that should any Goldswatch be following you, they will eventually reveal themselves, whether they like it or not.
You got it.
How does this sound to the rest of your team? Does the plan make sense? And everyone is basically kind of nodding. Hiram does speak up, and he says, "What if the Red Raiders do make an appearance?" Well then, fight them. If they are in overwhelming numbers, run. But do not allow yourself to be captured or detained. Fair enough. As always, the fallback point is Cavi's Bar. It is known to them, they will expect you to go there, and in that case it has some safety about it, as it is also watched by the city guard and Sergeant Edie. If I cannot find you, either a mile out of town or within the chapels, I will return to Cavi's Bar. Does that sound like a plan?
Hopefully, that sounds like a plan. Hopefully, you can find us in camp before then. Because I imagine if it's difficult to get out of the bar, it's going to be difficult to get back in, too.
Most likely. If you do find yourself detained, if you do find yourself, any of you, captured by the Goldswatch, it is vitally important that you tell them nothing. Even if they threaten you with harm of life. We have the means to bring people back, should it be necessary, and this is a revolution.
Understood.
I know that the Merigard Mercenary Academy has a reputation of creating the best alumnus. I hope to see that in this case. Also, one last thing. If the Goldswatch offer you gold to turn, I will pay whatever it is double.
Okay.
I believe in this. My brother believes in this. And it is personal.
All right.
I'll see you in an hour.
See you in an hour.
And Meridna Adelon turns and like strides past all of you and opens the door and leaves the tavern.
we've got our mission. What do we think?
For once, it kind of sounds like somebody else came up with a plan, and I'm relieved about that.
Yeah,
No offense, but
sounds
it
like
feels
something
like
we
we've
can
been
follow.
feels like we've been flying by the seat of our pants.
Yep.
Too many unknowns.
Well, this time we have a good plan. We know what our role is. And we can execute. My only worry is we'll run into the raiders. They seem like real bad news.
Do you think we can't? Do you think we're just incapacitating the Red Raiders as well?
I don't think so.
It's just they do seem,
I,
like you said, like bad news, and if they do come across us, it might be best to take them off the playing field.
I agree. I reluctantly agree with that. I think that definitely if it's Gold's Watch, incapacitate. But if it's definitely a trained mercenary, I I think the more of them that we can try to get out off the board, the better it will be for us, especially if we run into them at the ball later.
Do you think they'll be at the ball?
It sounds likely to me. I mean, if I think it's likely that this Samantha Braddock person will be at the ball, considering how much we know about her and how fancy she appears to be on the town and how close she is to Demerick. And if she's close to the Raiders, if Pomona has us, it only makes sense that she's gonna have them.
I have been to balls before.
Really?
As in, celebrity.
Yeah. Do you feel confident coming to this one?
Is, easy.
All right. And you're definitely going to be the most prepared of all of us to take on any fights that might need to happen.
I can teach. Is, matter of confidence.
You mean teach punching
No.
or teach courtly graces?
Imagine you are looking at something above everybody's head.
Okay.
Stand tall, shoulders back. No one question why you are here. Easy.
Okay.
It would take much longer than a week to teach all of you to punch like I do.
I imagine so. What do you think, Wix? Do you wanna come too?
Aye, the fancy shindigs are always fun. It's always interesting to see exactly who's slumming up with who. Always like to people watch, you know.
Yeah, you're well prepared for it. You've been there before. And we might need to maybe get some components if we can. I think
it's easier
if
if
we
I'm
don't have
invisible, but
sure. I think if we don't have Sagona to purify our food for us, it might be good to borrow some of your stuff.
I don't
Or
think we should
maybe
be.
not.
I was about to say I don't think we should be eating or drinking anything at the bar. At the ball.
I think that's smart.
The last time, I mean, the last mission I had to handle at a ball was at the Radiant Palace in KO. And that was. What? You okay?
I'm from there. I've seen that palace.
Oh, it's like a slice of home, eh? Then maybe I shouldn't say what I was doing there.
Yeah, maybe best to keep that a secret.
Just, you know, some members of the council were into some spicy stuff. Know that.
Okay. Good gossip.
Mm-hmm. She just like looks around, and Sigona's like staring at her, and Sigona just means like, you mean like food?
No, no, Sagona, not like food.
I don't understand.
Like
Like sex.
like sexual stuff.
Oh,
Like strange, like uncommon.
okay, I got it. And Wix like just prods Sigona, and she just goes, like the enlarge reduce spell. And Sigona's like, okay.
Doesn't that only last a minute?
Uh, Wix looks up at you. Apparently, that's all they needed. Sigona like just is like pinching the bridge of her nose, and she goes, "I didn't need to know. I don't want to know. Can we move on?
Oh my gosh, Sagona, are you blushing?
I will kill you."
You have a dwarven constitution. This is very funny.
The we don't. It's not. And Sigona just leaves. As the door to the VIP room opens, you hear the musicians are still playing. And as they like, you kind of get the feeling that the air of the room has changed a little bit. Like a lot of the tavern goers are still exactly what we'd expect. They're just people here enjoying Cabby's Bar because it is a nice tavern. But there is definitely a dozen or so people that are looking anxious, as if they're about to do something that is a little risky.
Um, in this time that we have, do I have time to like try to calm them down or burn off some of that energy with music?
Yeah, you can try. How does Tam do this?
Do these people look like they're all from different places, or the same? Do they all look like Aurelian or Kayan? Is there any sort of like thread that he can determine to choose a song?
Um, the thing is, it's a very diverse group of civilians.
Oh, I know what he'll do. He'll do like anthems about strong the arm.
Okay.
Like in the because I remember he did that one time. That was like a song that he finished a performance with, and like everybody sang along, like stuff to remind them of their purpose.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
As
something like rousing, sing along sort of situation.
Sure, absolutely. Um, Go ahead and roll me a performance.
Cool. Oh, terrible rolls, but still a 20.
With a 20, yeah, you clearly have an emotional impact on the crowd. The tavern goers, especially the ones that are clearly revolutionaries, they're tapping their feet along with it. It's given them a moment's distraction. And it is something that they're all clearly grateful for.
Excellent.
As you're playing with a 20 on performance, you hear, I like that song. Where is that one from? And you hear Soul Singer in your mind.
That's from here. That's the anthem of the king just lost in Aurelia.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
As you play the song to kind of prepare the revolutionaries for their risky escort mission, and you wait for Marina to return, and you guys are about to do something a little dangerous, that's where we're going to go ahead and call tonight's session.
Love it.
And so, as we get to the end of the session, I want to thank you for playing with me. I hope you had a good time. And to those of you who are at home or at work watching, hi Penn, hi Emily, hi class, hi everybody else, we love you all, and I wish you a good night.